Hi, we are Amber
Nadine
and Craig
from Otonga Road Primary School. This is our assessment for MindLab Digital Assessment number 1.
We're all working at Otonga Road Primary, which is a Decile 7 school in Rotorua.
Amber and I are teaching in Year 3 and 4 classrooms, and Nadine is teaching in a Year 2 classroom.
We began our assignment with some observations and data gathering of our classes, followed by a discussion with each other around the 21st century learning skills. From the beginning, we were already considering two stakeholders. There were ourselves as teachers and the students in our classrooms.
We all came to the conclusion that presently the biggest need in our classrooms is self-regulation, which is defined as learners who can take responsibility for their lives, their work, and their ongoing learning, from ITR Research 2012.
We felt that self-regulation and self-management were very closely linked, as self-management is one of the key competencies in the New Zealand curriculum, which is also about students who manage themselves, are resourceful and reliable. Education 2007.
As 2012 states, it is more important now that we teach children what to do rather than units of knowledge, which is part of our philosophy behind why we need to teach the students lifelong skills rather than knowledge.
Both self-regulation and self-management are essential ongoing skills, as it will set the children up for lifelong learners towards their adulthood.
We felt that even though we have very different teaching styles and experience, self-management was the area that needed the improvement across all of our classrooms. In order to find out the children's perspective on their needs, I had a class activity in which we discussed the key competencies. To follow this up, we had a class vote on the area which they felt they needed to work on. 26 out of my 28 children voted that their area of greatest need was in self-managing, which we broke down even further. The children and myself agreed that they were having trouble with completing their work, take responsibility for their ongoing learning, and looking after their belongings. From this assignment, the pedagogical outcome I would like to achieve is children who not only complete their work on time, but who take responsibility for their own learning. The smaller goal I would like to see is children who can manage their belongings. According to Calapio and Andrew Arthur, 2012, an additional outcome I may see in my children is an improvement of self-awareness, as stated in developing self-management skills. Self-management and self-awareness are fundamentally linked. Self-awareness will lead to understanding and empathizing with other people. Through focusing on self-management, I hope to also see improvement in relating to others.
The area of self-regulation that needs a big focus in my room is time management. It is halfway through the year and the concept of time management is still a struggle for them. Through observations and everyday interaction with my children, I found that many of them struggle to manage their time wisely. On an average day in my classroom, a majority of children of different levels, ages, and gender are not completing work on time. The concept of taking responsibility for their work and actions is not strong. I have attributed this to students taking an excessive amount of time getting into their required area of work and staying at their space, constant talking during work, and daydreaming. I also have a group of boys who are also on their own clock when it comes to being in the right place at the right time. They feel that their playtime is whenever they can get away with it. They are also very sly about this, as they usually do this when I am working with groups or individuals, which shows me that they know exactly what they're doing and they know what to do, the right thing. What have I done so far in class to help this? We have had class discussion and set expectations, use reward systems and positive praise, and where necessary, use consequences. I have implemented individual and class timers and continue to reinforce the expectations that we have. And I've tried to create a motivating environment with different activities, good modelling, encouragement, and empowering self-efficacy in children, which is from O'Toole, Grimley, Fox Turnbull, and Vogt 2013. With my year 4s on the road to becoming seniors next year, and my year 3s becoming leaders to the upcoming year 2s, I want them to start being more confident and competent with this part of self-regulation. The outcome I want for my children is to be able to make good decisions and prioritise their learning, to show and to teach good time management through use of video and take the skill and build on it into the rest of their education.
Our proposed plan for a digital and collaborative innovation in our classroom is as follows. Our overall aim, we want to teach our students the skills to manage their time, selves, work and future learning through working collaboratively on a digital assignment. We aim to meet at least level 4 on the ITL rubric for collaboration, use of ICT in the classroom and self-regulation.
How we will do this. We plan on working with our classes to produce short videos on the skills of self-management. The students will be required to work in groups to create short skits of the right ways to manage their self versus the wrong ways. We will begin by teaching the students about what self-management looks like, how it will be displayed in our class in an ideal situation. We'll then have the students role play the right way and the wrong way with the option of using puppets. They will then create their own skits and display one of the skills around the self-management, whether that is a time management, completing tasks in assigned time, looking after their property, or even looking after their bodies or space. And then, of course, they've got to organise themselves in advance.
The students will then use iPads to film their skits with scripts. The students will have the choice of how they film. They could use puppets, stop motion, or themselves as actors.
And from here, they'll need to work together to edit their videos.
After they have created their videos, Craig and myself's class will work with another group from the other class to critique and feedback on another group's work. They will do this in their own classes by accessing each other's videos via a private YouTube account and leaving comments in the comments section.
We also bring together all of our classes as a way of the students presenting their learning and their new knowledge. And these videos will then be shared with the school as a resource for beginning of the year as a model expectation, or if any other new students arrive to an existing class.
Where does our plan sit against the ITL rubrics? Use of ICT. Our plan requires the students to use iPads, apps, and access YouTube. It will require them to construct their knowledge, and it will also create a final product, the videos, which will be shared across the classes and school. With all this in mind, we feel this does meet at least level 4 of use of ICT.
Use of collaboration. Well, the students are required to work in small groups up to 4, which will mean each member has an integral role in the assignment and their tasks are needed to complete the goal.
Self-regulation. The students' learning will be long-term. They have learning criteria in advance to know what they need in order to complete their work, and we are also allowing the students a chance to critique their work through their feedback to fellow groups.
Our proposed plan is a way of teaching the students the self-management skills through constructionism. Now, constructionism is defined by Ackerman in 2009 as a learning theory of instruction. It states that building the knowledge occurs best through building things that are tangible and shareable, which with our final product is how we believe our students will learn. Our plan will also emphasise Piaget, 1936, idea of learning through play, as the children will have a chance to explore their ideas, play with puppets, and Play-Doh if they choose to do so.
Some possible issues that we see might happen are students' abilities to use either the ICT or apps. Some students may require a large amount of front loading, particularly the juniors. And we are also unsure that our students will use ICT as a way of constructing knowledge rather than using it to create a product. In summary, we have created an assignment that identifies the needs of our students, which are self-regulation and self-management. We have created a plan that requires collaboration and ICT in the classroom. It will teach self-management and self-regulation skills. It will challenge what the students already know and will teach them new skills. It is also innovative, as Craig, myself and Nadine have not used many of the technologies that we will be using with our classes.